Hello and welcome back to Speed Typing. In this video, I'm going to be doing a bit of a collaboration with Sean Wrona, the winner of the Ultimate Typing Championships in 2010 and one of the fastest current typists in the world. And so this should be a pretty fun video. First of all, we're going to be doing 5 races on Nitro Type, and we're going to be heading over to Type Racer and doing 5 races there. And then we're going to be talking a bit about improving and typing tips, all that stuff. Let's get into the video. The first race was pretty typical with, I guess, a pretty decent text, with Sean Wrona getting 182 words per minute, and I got 153 words per minute. I was a bit nervous, I guess, typing with Sean Wrona, so my scores in these races were probably a bit lower, but overall it was, a pretty decent race, and for Sean Wrona, I think just hopping into Nitro Type with no warm-up or anything, that was a pretty good race for him too. Second race, we had another pretty decent text, and Sean Wrona got 185 words per minute with actually really good accuracy, almost close to perfect with 99.75, and I got a fairly decent race with 163 words per minute. I was pretty happy with it for the difficulty of the text. Now the third text was actually pretty hard with the dinosaur bones and the word paleontologist thrown in there. It's one of my worst texts to type, and I only got 144 words per minute on the text, whereas Sean Wrona was able to get a pretty decent score of 187 words per minute. Nothing too fancy for the text, but also he was doing pretty consistent by this point, again with really good accuracy, rounding up to 99%. Now in the fourth race, Sean Wrona got 191 words per minute, which was really good. I also believe that the text was really difficult too, and I was able to get, pretty good score of 158 words per minute. He's of course won all 4 of these so far. I did not expect to win any of these races, and I was actually impressed with how accurate that he was able to be in some of these more difficult texts. But I guess that's what you just get from someone who's a world-class typist. Now in the last race that we did for Nitro Type, I got a pretty decent 160 words per minute, I guess, and Sean got another in a row 191 words per minute, so that was a great race by him. After we finished up our 5 races on Nitro Type, we headed over to Type Racer, where we did another 5 races. And just keep in mind, I've talked about this in my other video that is linked in the top right corner right now, but I am slower at Type Racer, so yeah. Just keep that in context, and also just remember that Sean Wrona was just going into this with no warm-up just after doing 5 races on Nitro Type, so some of the scores, especially on the shorter texts that are more difficult, are not going to be as good, but I still think that this is a pretty good overall performance for both of us. First race, I think you can't even count the number of chokes I had, getting only 107 words per minute on actually a text that was pretty good. And Sean Wrona got 175 words per minute, kind of signaling what he'd be getting for the rest of the other 4 races. He was actually doing pretty consistent, except for the second race that we did, which we'll see right away. Now, first thing to take away from this, that text is actually pretty bad. You have exclamation marks, which for me, I have to cross over my right hand, holding shift with my left pinky to type the exclamation point. It's generally a weak character that I type that I, again, have to work on, and I could probably do much more efficiently. And also you have like the, I think that's called like whatever, the hyper something that you, like between the ah and ha, and then you have like the punctuation marks, and then you have like, you know, and it's a short quote too, so if you mess up, then you can't just like easily recover. So I got really bad score for that, but Sean Wrona was only able to get 150 words per minute. I guess it's just a bad text in general. You don't have to judge either of us based on that text. Alright, now you can see the actual first half decent race that I actually did on Type Racer for this mini session with 138 words per minute. Nitro Type, that'd be a really, really bad race for me, but on Type Racer, I think that was a pretty good effort put in. 97% accuracy. I didn't make too many mistakes in that text, and I was only about 14 words per minute off from Sean, who got 152 words per minute. I think he had a bit of a choke that was kind of major in one place of the text that kind of threw him off. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, that was, I think, a pretty decent race by me. Yeah, this text was just bad, I think, in general. And though Sean Wrona was able to get 173 words per minute, so that was pretty good. I was only getting 113, mainly because some of those words were pretty hard to type, and some of the punctuation was hard, and I'm just not kind of used to some of that capitalization stuff. But I guess really good race from Sean for that kind of difficulty on the text. Now on this race, we get the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, this is a small story. I have not typed out this text actually very much at all, and I probably should be a lot faster on it, but I'm slow on this text for some reason. Everyone else can go really fast on it, but I'm slow on the text. So you can see me really struggling. Now on Nitro Type, Sean Wrona had an average of 187.2 words per minute for races, and I had an average of 155.6 words per minute over those 5 races that we did. On Type Racer, over the average of our 5 races, Sean Wrona was able to average 158.82 or 159, and I was only able to average about 105 words per minute, rounded up. So I would say that both our averages were lower simply because of those 2 short yet pretty difficult texts that we both got pretty low scores on. I think that we both could have averaged higher if we had longer and easier text, but you know, it's whatever you get on Type Racer, and we were going on my track, so that might have affected things a bit, but overall I think that we had some pretty decent races on there as well. Now, after we finished typing on both Nitro Type and Type Racer, I asked him a couple questions for viewers on my channel, and the first one was, what's the biggest thing that someone who is starting to learn how to type should focus on? And he said he's going to be echoing what Dvorak said in Typewriting Behavior, and that technique is most important, speed is second most important, accuracy is not important as either of those. Given the choice, you want to build up speed over accuracy, but if you start to feel complacent, then maybe you should switch. And I kind of agree with him here. You want to make sure that you have technique so that you can build up your speed, and then once you have that speed there, then you can work on your accuracy. And you might want to interchange those later on when you're getting into those faster speeds, but overall, I think that's a great tip. So if any of you guys who are wondering on typing faster and all that stuff, I do have playlists on that stuff, but this is a pretty good tip for that as well. The second thing that I asked him is, why do you think typing is most important in today's day and age? And basically, he said that it's less important, and I'll read out what he said, it's less important than it has ever been in the past, since the number of people hired for almost all typing jobs is expected to decline by over 20% in the next decade or so. Probably programming skills are the only technical skills that will matter. It's definitely more of a game now than anything that has essential career skills, so I probably can't give you any positive skewing answer to that question at all. If it becomes an esport where the top practitioners can earn money at it, I might have a different answer. It'll probably have been overtaken by like 20 people at the point if that ever happens. I don't think it's important at all. If it's any importance, it might be to indirectly improve at teaching yourself other academic skills or getting your thoughts down before you've forgotten them. But that can be a drawback since it's much easier for you to speak before you think, which can have major internet ramifications. It's not a very valuable skill today. And to an extent, I kind of agree with him. You know, we have things like speech to text that are coming along, and I think that typing has kind of slowed down in the amount of importance that it has in today's day and age. But I agree with him that like the pros for typing is that, you know, academic skills, getting your thoughts down. I do debate and I write out speeches and all that stuff. I think it's still really important to have typing in today's world, but you're not going to be able to get a job, for example, just simply based on your typing speed. And so I really appreciated Sean spending all of his time on both to type with me on Type Racer yesterday, but also share a bit of his insights for these two questions. So thank you to everyone for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. I'll be linking Sean Wrona's channel. It's going to be at the top link in the description. If you want to check it out, he does fast typing. He's going to be releasing a book. I'm not exactly sure what the timeline for the book is, but I believe it's called Nerds Per Minute. Once he does release that book, I'm almost 100% sure that I'm going to be buying it and reading it and giving my review on it and all that stuff, so that should be pretty fun. So thank you so much to him for collaborating with me for this video. It was really a lot of fun. I'll see you in the next video. This was Speed Typing. Type on and type faster.